The ponytailed wonder came out the block swinging and landed the first blow, but he forgot that the king of the favelas came to make a show. And the Italian stallion showed that he can bend it like Beckham too. But here's the question. Who's really rattled? Us or you? This is another episode of One Kingdom Glory, and we're going to talk about that big match between Arsenal and Man City at the Etihad Stadium this past weekend. We're going to talk about some other exciting fixtures and how Chelsea are quietly, slowly putting the pieces together for what could be a very exciting season for them. Hopefully, finally, Markus did say it, hiring board is the way to go, and maybe Chelsea Liverpool might have struck gold in their two managers. But we're going to talk about that a bit more shortly. I'm joined as always with Craig and Matthew.
Right.
So we're going to start off with a game at the London Stadium, West Ham versus Chelsea, a very resounding 3-0 defeat for West Ham. Strong victory for Chelsea. Resident Chelsea fan, Matthew, how are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling good. I was wary of this fixture. We went there last year after a good performance in the first couple of games, and we got there and we got humbled real quick. But this time we took advantage. We got more of a sense of it seems like we found a structure despite such a big squad. It seems like we found a structure real quick, and especially after a hard game against Bournemouth the previous weekend, it was especially good to kind of wrap it up nice and tight. And I think he's making use of the players that he's got, and most importantly, they're fitting in nice and well. That's the second time Jadon Sancho is now slotted in really nice and well, getting in the thick of the goals, getting us. That's another assist now, another great performance. Nicholas Jackson, remember him to stay offside and making use of that lovely bit of space on the left-hand side. West Ham did not know what to do when he was there. Like, just a great couple of goals. Cole Palmer getting in there as well. Caicedo, I said about this guy Caicedo that towards the end he was finding his feet, and it looks like now he's really kind of anchoring himself in what could be a very difficult midfield to beat and a very good midfield to kind of play in. As long as we keep this run up for the next few games, climb our way up the table, because I think we're only 3 points off from the top teams so far. You can argue that there are harder games to come. The first game was a really hard one. We're going to have harder to come. But if we can do what we're doing right now, it's another clean sheet. There could be something in store for us. So climbing up the table, progressing in the cups, in the Conference League. It pays to have two squads, well, technically even four squads going along for each competition. It shows a kind of it shows an intent. So no, I'm very, very happy with the result and the performance, which was something that was wanting from last year. We were getting one or the other, whereas in this case, we got both.
Well, that is the big thing, is those performances and getting the results that you need. I guess for you, Craig, when you look at that match, what are you excited by what Maresca is, seeming to get out of the team?
It's getting the team is clicking now. It's getting the players the way he wants to play, the formation, the system is working. Everyone's buying into the system, buying into the team, his tactics and everything. So he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think that's important because, again, we've seen a lot of transition and turmoil at Chelsea. I think you've gone through too many managers for a club of your size. I mean, I know in the past, Roman was very good at kind of moving people in and out, moving things on, but this just feels very fractious. I think for you, Matthew, are you very happy with the look of how this is and how the pieces are all kind of fitting now together?
I think with Enzo, he's a bit more stern than what Pochettino was. He was letting them Bowley into the dressing room and addressing the guys and that. And that's a very key thing. You don't hear much from the backboard business now. We're sticking strictly to the football. Whereas last year, the board and the football was very. You heard one more than the other, which is never really a good thing. Now it seems at the moment. That all what we did is kind of making sense, and how the players that we've gotten rid of, the players we've loaned out, they're not necessarily part of his picture that he wants. So it's a good thing that now we're focusing on the football. We actually are playing some really good stuff. Sanchez seems to be coming in his own as number one keeper. The defence seems to be, solidifying itself very slowly. That midfield, which was one of the key positions over the past few years, has been a real controversy, seeing as we just got rid of them all seemingly at once. And now even going forward, granted, we don't have an out-and-out striker, but we've got a lot of attacking players that like to score. So if we keep now, like I said, if we keep this up, there could be something really good for this young group of players. I'd love to go ahead and win the Conference League. For such a young group, it'll mean a lot, and it seems to be one of the favourites to win. So we really need to go and push on for this.
Yeah, it's definitely showing promising signs for Chelsea going forward, and we'll see what you're able to do. Obviously, for West Ham, it's a bitterly disappointing defeat, and it kind of, I guess there's always been a lot of talk about be careful what you wish for, and the start in the Lopetegui, it's been a bit kind of a mixed bag. But do you think things will stabilise for West Ham, Craig, or do you feel like this is the beginning of a rough period for them under their new manager?
Well, he's really struggled. West Ham's really struggled this season, and I thought it would be a good transition over from David Moyes. But sometimes in football, you get rid of a manager that won the Europa Conference League 2 seasons before, and then you bring in a new manager in because you felt like to move him on. Then now, he's struggling. He struggled at Wolves, and now he's struggling at West Ham. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle. But we'll see what West Ham can do in their next game. Before we move on from Chelsea, just one final thing. Obviously, I feel like Nicholas Jackson, his 3-goal contributions in the match, 2 goals and 1 assist. I think he's doing a good job of silencing the critic, Mikel. Slowly but surely, he's starting to purr into gear. Mm-hmm. Do you think he's on track now to get that 20 that we talked about?
It's 5 games?
Yep.
And he's got 3 so far. I think he's got at least 3 goals. Yeah, he needs to at least beat the target.
He's got 4 in the league.
He's got 4.
4 in the league this season.
If he keeps this up, he'll probably beat that 20. I'm not saying he will. I probably don't think that he will. I still think he will get very close to that 20 because he got at least 15 last year despite spending most of his time, in opposition car park or whatever. He can push on, and it's like how he said, he kind of reminds us a little bit of Adebayo, a bit bow-legged, a bit raw, but can be moulded into what can be a very effective striker. He's not a natural striker, but he's got the striker attributes, which in the current football climate, you'll take that with a pinch of salt. You can, if he can shoot in front of goal, I'll make you that. So can he reach that 20? If he keeps on the way he's doing now, I think he can. I really do think he can.
Well, we're going to have to watch and see. In terms of the rest of the top goal scorers in the Premier League, we've got Erling Haaland leading the way with 10 goals. And, of course, we saw him get that 10th goal, his 100th goal for Man City in the game against Arsenal. Diaz is behind him with 5 goals. Duran, Nicholas Jackson and Brian and Burma all on 4 goals each. That's John Duran. In joint 6, you've got Harvey Barnes, Noni Madikele, Mohamed Salah, Ollie Watkins, and Mr. Danny Welbeck, all with 3 goals apiece. So that's not bad. That's a very interesting run of lineup of players. Haaland's going to take some stopping, and we'll give Salah time. I'm not giving up on that one yet. Let's move over to the Etihad. A very feisty, fractious game between Man City and Arsenal. I have to say, though, like from a neutral's perspective, it was shaping up to be an all-timer. And I still think it was a great game from neutral's perspective. And I think if you'd asked any Arsenal fans pre-match, like, would you take a draw? I thought we could nick it. That was my view. It's just the way the game panned out. I think that's what always kind of affects your perception on it. I guess for you, Craig, what's your thoughts on the result before we get into the detail of it?
Well, very, very unlucky not to get a win. Very unlucky. I think the referee should have blown the whistle on the 95th minute when it was time to blow the whistle. He added on an extra 2 more minutes after that. Or 97 minutes, sorry. He added on an extra 2 more minutes and 99 minutes, and they scored in the 96th minute, I think, or 98th minute they scored.
98th minute, yeah.
We were at home watching the game, and we're like, hope you hold on. If we won that game, we'd have blown the whole title race wide open, but we weren't able to hold on, so frustrating, but against a good Man City team with 10v11, a point. I'm still disappointed, really and truly, I'll be honest with you. I think, like, if we could have held on and got the win, it would have been a statement win, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as well because when you go back through like the running of the game and kicks off really well, and Man City score a very good goal to open up the scoring. Savinho, Calafiori jumps in on Savinho, tries to kind of nick the ball off him. He spins him inside, plays the ball through, and I have to say you got to rewatch Haaland's movement there. Because he pulls off Gabriel and he kind of waddle runs like a duck, still running forward, but runs sideways just to keep momentum and also keep himself onside. And then from there, the way he accelerates away from Gabriel and Saliba can't even catch him. And these two are not slow defenders. He creates distance between them. And then the way he takes his shot, out, like just kind of outside the left foot, a jab on the ground, under the goalkeeper. Nothing Raya could have done to save it. Brilliant goal. You can't knock that. I think it's just a great goal. And then comes the equaliser. And now there's been a lot of talk about the controversy about Arsenal's equaliser and people complaining about what Kyle Walker wasn't fully set. The foul was given. Bernardo Silva walks the ball away from the foul spot, which wastes time. Bit of pushing and shoving. Referee calls the players, the two captains, tells everyone to calm down. Walker jogs back to his position, still has time to turn around and be talking to his teammates, and then we get ready to play the ball, and then he realizes, and then starts sprinting back. He's already in position. He's not perfectly in position, but he's there, and if he had sprinted back, he would have been fine. He chose to jog, that's his issue. After that, Martinelli, good control, driving towards the box, great awareness to have his head up, which has been a big criticism of Martinelli throughout his whole Arsenal career. He's very much a head-down runner, has his head up, cuts back on his right foot, looks up and rolls the ball perfect way into Calafiori. And the way he struck that ball, and I've seen players hit shots like that where the ball gets pulled back to them and they run onto it like that and they hit it over the bar, they get too much power on it, or they try and blast it in. He just guides that ball with power. And I know we were talking pre-recording and I think there was a suggestion that it was an unexpected goal. I mean, it reminds me a lot of William Saliba's goal against Bournemouth a couple of seasons ago when he did a similar thing. Ball pulled at the edge of the box and he scoops it over the goalkeeper into that same side. The thing with Calafiori is that there was some content on Arsenal.com. They were asking everyone what's there, who they think is going to get goal of the season. And he said in the video, hopefully I will. So I see that goal, I'm like, this guy means business. He's not come here to just be the left back, the centre back, He's come here to start and he's come here to score some wonder goals. But Matthew, when you see a goal like that, scored by a guy on his first start in the Premier League, in a game of this magnitude, what does that tell you about the player?
Barkley's man. Barkley's man. And it's good to see we're starting to see in the last few games, the last couple of weeks, that they're taking them chances again where it's like this whole efficiency thing is all well and good, but sometimes you just got to put your foot in it. Sometimes just hit it first time, see what it does. Now, the past 2 weeks, we talked about John Duran's one last week, which was just pure Roberto Carlos-esque kind of thing, like power, swerve, like nothing the keeper could do. This one was a little bit different where there was the power, but if you actually slow it down, you see the ball spinning to the point. No keeper is getting that, by the way. No keeper is getting that. But he hit, when you hit something like that 50 pence sweet spot so well, and just goes woof, 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 and you just watch it go. All you can really do is watch it go. And just that hit, and it's a very hard, that's a hard angle because it's left foot to what is basically the right corner. You don't see very goals often like that. You've half expect him to get on his right and do that, but from his left, that's some technique and some spin. So I'm watching that, I was thinking, damn, that is a goal and a half. So if he's got that in his locker, man, it might be one of those guys, like a number 2 guy, I only score bangers. If he's saying what he's saying, where I like to think I'll be getting goal this season, I'm expecting more from this kid. I really am.
And if you look back on his goal collection from his time at his former club, you can see that he's got it in him. He's got these shots in him. So I'm looking forward to see more of what he does. And I mean, look, to do that against Man City of all teams, like, that's no mean feat. He came ready. And obviously I mentioned the man from the favelas, Gabriel. He, again, like, they had a warning earlier in the same half of the set piece, and we did the same routine twice, same ball into the same area for Gabriel to attack it, and Saka put it on a sixpence. And I don't know what Kyle Walker was doing, man. It's not Strictly Come Dancing. What's all this like? Tap, tap, tap. Brother, if you wanted this shirt, just ask him for his shirt pre-game. You shouldn't touch the man's shirt for. And yeah, big Gabriel delivered another quality header, another goal for him this season. Craig, how impressed are you with the rock at the back from Brazil?
He's solid. best player this season for us, man. He's been very leading by example. He's getting better with age. Consistent. Scored back-to-back goals in 2 games in the two league games. So he's doing a good job. Like, you know, we have to make sure we keep him fit this season and try and sign him up to a new contract eventually.
That's going to be the big one. So we'll see what we could do in that front. Can't really get an Arsenal-Man City game without some controversy. And to me, it started off on kickoff with Rodri trying to block off Havertz. Gary Neville was screaming for a red card. We ain't forgotten about you, mate, and your brother, Antonio Reyes. Rest in peace. We ain't forgotten. No. But, yeah, I just thought that was just pathetic. And obviously the news broke that he's going to be out for the season, potentially with an ACL injury, which is a great shame for them. Anyway, yeah. But Trossard's red card, I think... I don't understand why this has become a thing the league want to nitpick on this season. But time wasting. Because last year, didn't they all agree that if you wasted time, they'll add it on the end?
Yeah.
So we're having +6, +8, +10.
Yeah, we had games.
Right?
We had games where I think one game was a Villa game where it went on to about 100 minutes.
Yep.
But that was the rule. Like, if you're going to do that, we're going to do this. And at least then, everyone knew where they stood. So if we do it, this will happen. This will keep on happening until you stop. Which to me seems like a fairly simple thing to understand.
I agree. And I think that was a good system. It made sense. And it was a good carry on from the World Cup. Very good way of doing things. And now you got this situation where... Now, again, And I know there's been a lot of debate about this, about whether Trossard should have been sent off for the kicking the ball away. Some have argued he was looking to play in Gabriel Martinelli on the break. Some are arguing that the time between when the referee whistle blew and he kicked the ball was a second or a second and a bit or whatever, and he wouldn't have time to react. There's lots of different positions on it. My thing is this. Again, we've had another game week where we've seen different incidences not refereed the same way. Martinez jumps in on a tackle in the Man United game, 2-foot onto the ball, is onto the ball, and I will say that, nothing given, right? It's a 2-footed jab. He's out of control. If the player for the other team had actually stepped onto the ball, that could have been, or actually, got into the ball first, that could have been a very dangerous situation. Nothing given. Fine. We also saw a Tottenham game. Their goalkeeper Vicario handles the ball outside the box. Yeah. It's given as a yellow because apparently it's not interfering with a clear goal opportunity, all that kind of stuff. Okay, fine. Doku in the same match, free kick's given. The referee is saying the ball should be taken further back. Fine. Where Doku kicks the ball, Declan Rice is standing where the free kick gets taken from. Doku kicks the ball past Declan Rice to the extent where Timber has to pass the ball to Rice to restart the game. Is that not time wasting? Right? Because it is or isn't it? Now you can argue he's turning the ball back. If that's returning the ball back, then Doku's a crap passer because he's missed Rice and he's got the ball close to Timber. He's he's not even near him. He's passed nowhere near him, right? So there's that. Now he could I know you don't necessarily want to give the ball to the opposition. He could have passed the ball closer to him, not all the way past him.
Or pass into space.
Trossard's one, not even the benefit of the doubt. We're just for half time. Now, Trossard should not have done that. It's stupid. Now, again, like I said, people are arguing that he was looking for a pass to Martinelli. The way he kicked that ball, I don't see it that way. I think he booted that ball away to clear it. I don't see it as because that ball was kicked too high and too hard to be a pass to Martinelli. Because there was a pass on. He could have hit it like a little side footer, a little daisy cutter, maybe. Yeah. That was a boot away. I've played football. That was not a pass. That's not a pass, right? So there's that. But where has the common sense of referees gone? Why can't Michael Oliver say to Trossard, look, Leo, mate, it's almost half time. Calm down.
Yeah, this is
calm down. Like, do that again and you're off. Why can't you do that?
Not just a straight.
There's been so many games that referee is, and I know you don't. He's not your. You don't like the other guy.
Anthony Taylor, who got dropped, by the way.
Yeah. There's been too many games over the last few seasons that Mike Oliver's been involved in where there's been a controversial decision which has benefited Man City. Too many. Now, I'm not saying the guy is corrupt and he's been paid off, although he was paid to referee in Saudi in Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Dubai, yeah. I'm not saying that this guy is dodgy, corrupt, whatever. What I am saying is that I don't think he's refereeing their games with integrity anymore because you're making too many mistakes that are benefiting Man City. Too many. Now, this one, it's been 2 game weeks in a row Arsenal have got a red card. Oh, not 2 games in the league so far. Arsenal second yellow card, right? Because we had a game in between.
Brighton.
We had the Tottenham game between. So it was the Brighton Tottenham game, then we had this one. So for me, I feel like one Arsenal player should be smarter because you can kind of tell that we ain't gonna get away with these kind of little things. To be smarter, but secondly, most importantly, like another one
in the space of 3 games,
and it's not. And I'm not seeing any other game. I mean, I know Dallo got a dumb one when he got 2 yellow cards for dissent in last season, which I thought was ridiculous. I'm not seeing this universally applied. I'm not seeing other players get yellow card, kick the ball away. There was ball kicked away in the Brighton game.
Yeah.
Nothing doing. Even this past weekend, nothing doing. So it's just too much. All we want is some consistency. And if you're not going to be consistent, then rip it all up and start all over again. Because PGMO, we all are tired of this. It's not even about my team anymore. It's like just in general, it's just not good. What's your take on it, Matthew?
Yeah, just have some kind of clarity in what you're doing. It seems every year it's a new thing. First it was VAR, then it was this, and now the big problem now is having the whole time wasting thing. Where, granted, the game's going for too long. It's a bit of a bit of a mick take, but at least, like I said before, they know where they stand when they're doing it. Whereas this whole kicking, this whole ball descent thing, I kind of think there has to be a little bit of like you said, a bit of a rule on discretion. Whereas, like, look. I mean, after all, it's not one of the worst offences that you can do when playing football. It's annoying, and you can look at it as being a touch disrespectful, but it's not a thing where you go straight away. It's not like where it's a violent conduct, a 2-foot tackle, or a clear, denying of a goal scoring opportunity. That's different. They're straights. That's different. This, I think, could be like you give them a little bit of a benefit of a doubt. It kind of reminds me in a way of, and the whole game kind of reminded me of the whole F1 season 2021, where they had something going good in that whole game, encapsulated the whole in one game. Everyone's being entertained. Just think I think the occasion took over a little bit, and he was like, you know what, let's make this game fun. Arsenal's a goal up, they're going to be a man down. And then the same thing could argue happened at the other end, where, the whole time thing. But I don't know whether they're trying to make entertainment for entertainment's sake, but for the detriment of the game. And let's be real, this could have been, if this was the other way around, it'll probably be the same thing. Because this is not just an Arsenal thing, this is the Premier League thing. Everyone's been done over or screwed over at some point, but it can't be a fake. I mean, what's it going to be? What's it going to be next year? Corners?
That's the thing.
Free kicks?
Well, they've already changed the rules on corners anyway. That's why you can't really interfere with the goalkeeper. So you have to get a bit more tactical and clever how you do it. But I don't really understand this. I don't get why this is the fixation. It's a nothing thing, and yet they're treating it like it's a life or death. So I don't really get it, and I do feel like it's getting in the way of the integrity of this sport and of the league, because it's gonna I just don't want it to get to a point where a situation like this comes in a game where a player gets 2 yellow cards, and like say for example Everton are let's say in like 3 game weeks time, Everton have a match and they get 2 yellow cards and they lose that match, and that loss costs Sean Dyche's job, even though in the previous games they were starting to get a resurgence. And I use them as an example because they've just they've got a new buyer, the Friedkind group have agreed to buy them, so they might want to make some changes. So I say all of that because it's like that could cost him his job if it doesn't work out. And then what do we say? Then do not get apologies? Look at how many decisions against Wolves.
Yeah.
Gary O'Neill last year, I mean, they got robbed blind.
Big time.
By VAR, blind. So they got to do better because it's not right.
Because it's the smaller clubs that get in the brunt. For smaller clubs like your Burnleys, your Evertons, your Wolves, this isn't granted it affects all clubs, but even for the argument's sake for our clubs, we can get over it because we can go ahead and get a result out of it. But when you're like a small club that is fighting so hard, it's the difference between someone's job, it's the difference between relegation, and it just creates a precedent that the Premier League is only based on 6 teams.
That's true. But anyway, I gotta give credit where credit's due. John Stones, he's inevitable. The guy, no, but if you look back through their title winning seasons, he always costs up with a crucial goal. He just is that guy. And if you think about the game against Liverpool many years ago, when he cleared it off the line and Salah was stealing in, it was just about to cross the line, and he's that guy. And if they'd lost that game at that time, Liverpool might have gone on to win the title, and then all this talk about 4p, 5p wouldn't have been a thing. So yeah, I gotta give it to him. I mean, I hate the fact that you can see the goal in that manner. We switched off a little bit on the corner, but I gotta give them credit. It's a great goal. A great way to equalise. But I have to say, though, the way they were celebrating at full time, bro, are you not embarrassed? Are they not embarrassed?
That's just
Craig, they should be embarrassed, shouldn't they?
100%.
Oh, a big team, and they're acting like they won the league. And they have a go at us for how we celebrate our goals. Man City, man. And even the comments I've been seeing from their players, like Bernardo Silva coming out saying that Arsenal didn't want to come to win. They preferred playing Liverpool. I'm like, Liverpool fans taking that as a compliment. Bro, I think that's just an insult to you guys because they know. Like, okay, Liverpool Man City games, yeah, I think they are more entertaining and have been more entertaining over the years. But this is a tactical chess match. And I have to say, for the first half of this match, I think we went at them in a very attacking manner. We went in for the win. And it's just unfortunate that the referee decided to make us have a star for once. Michael Oliver, ain't about you. Ain't about you.
Michael Massey.
You ham sandwich, ain't about you.
Innit? Mike Dean, Mike Oliver, Michael Massey.
Where's Mike Myers to clean this up, bro? Sorry, dude. But yeah, no, I just think it's nuts. And I don't know where we go from here. But to wrap things up, I do want to talk about Fulham as our last game to look at for this weekend. 3-1 win at home. I think that's the prediction you didn't see coming.
No. And I said Smith Rowe's proved me wrong right now. He's having a whale of a time.
I know. Your hot take on Smith Rowe was mad. I mean, it's early days. So, you know, we'll hold the jury to the end of the season because things can swing and roundabouts. But so far,
he's doing the job, man. He's loving it.
Yeah, he looks like a big fish in a medium-sized pond and is balling out. So I don't want to say in a small pond because I got respect for Fulham. Like they're a good team. They've gotten to European finals. They know what they're doing.
They're good, man.
They're cooking something nice down there.
And they got a good manager too.
They got a good manager. And I also like the fact that Raul Jimenez has actually found his goal-scoring touch.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit worried about Rodrigo Muniz, who's not been as prolific this time around. But Jimenez being back on song, Adama Traore as a ball-carrying midfielder. Who would have seen that?
Genius.
Who would have seen that?
That
Alex Iwobi off the left wing. Smith Rowe just buzzing around in between. Then Nelson off the bench.
Barkley's man.
Fulham they've got something, you know. Anthony Robertson, left back, he will be at a top 6 club and then come next season.
It's a good shout, right, man.
Fulham might end up pushing to be 7-8, hopefully. I see him at a top 6 club.
Barkley's man are back.
In fact, let me go one step
Barkley's man
further.
are back.
I think Chelsea should buy him next season.
Get the checkbook, Todd, man. Get your checkbook out, man.
Because, you know, you can kind of move on Chilwell and how Cucurella has rotated. I think he'll be a starting left back for you next season.
Chilly Willy, man. Gotta go.
I think so. But a very good game for them. Like I said, Smith Rowe balling out. Doing what needs to be done.
Good game, good goals, good result. You know, there's a few teams in that. There's a few teams now. You've got Fulham, you've got Brighton, you've got who else is another team that can play really well? Villa. I can't not talk about Villa.
Bournemouth. Even though Bournemouth lost against Liverpool, you know, Bournemouth lost against Liverpool, but they got something there.
Well, there's quite a few teams, man. The Barclays Man Premier League could be coming back. It could be coming back.
I hope so. I really do hope so because we kind of need it. We need it a lot. And then just looking at the table really briefly, you know, let's go from the bottom up. So Wolves are bottom on 20th with 1 point. And Everton and Southampton, that's the bottom 3, all of them on 1 point. Ipswich on 3 and 17th. And Crystal Palace 16th. Leicester 15th, both on 3 points. West Ham on 4 points in 14th. And Bournemouth, Brentford, Man United, sorry. I was getting ahead of myself. That's March. Spoiler alert. Bournemouth, Brentford, Man United. So that's 13, 12, 11. Tottenham in 10th. Fulham in 9th on 8 points. Then Nottingham Forest, Brighton Hove Albion on 9 points each. That's 8 and 7. 6th place, you got Newcastle on 10 points. Chelsea in 5th with 10 points. And that's nice to see for you guys. I mean, it's been a long time since you could say that you were actually in that top half of the table where we can see you. Arsenal 4th right now on 11 points. Aston Villa in 3rd on 12. Liverpool also in 12 in 2nd. And then Man City leading the way with 13 points. And if Liverpool didn't lose their last game,
Top.
They'd be top. So I think we're looking at something very spicy. Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. And I'm going to put Chelsea in that conversation because you're only 3 points off Man City, are all looking well poised for the title run. So far. If I'm being fair, because if I'm being fair, right, you've got 10 points, Man City have 13. It's 3 point gap. Obviously, results got to go in your favour. But I can't take you out of the conversation right now.
Doing good, man. We're doing what we got to do.
And tentatively, I'll have Newcastle as like a dark outsider because they're also on 10. But you know how it is. I just feel like, this is looking interesting. Whether you guys can maintain it,
Please do, man.
we'll see.
Please
But
do.
So far, things are cooking. It's cooking. The stew is smelling a bit nice at Stamford Bridge. It was a bit stinky earlier in the season, but it's smelling a bit nice. So we'll see.
Cooking the stew, man. It's cooking it. We're getting the results when we need them now. We're actually getting results. Pre-season. Now we're getting the results when we need them. We now just need to win a home game.
That's it.
Let's win a home game, and I'll be certain. And win. We've got a home game tomorrow, innit? Yeah, we've got a home game tomorrow in the League Cup. We'll win one in the league. And we're firing, man. We are firing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be at Arsenal with Craig at the Carabao game against Bolton at the Emirates. Looking forward to that on Wednesday. Should be a good fun. Looking ahead to the weekend, let's get some predictions going, then we can be out of here. Newcastle against Man City, first game of the weekend. The first Rodri-less Man City midfield against a very strong Newcastle United. How do you see that one going, Matthew?
I'm gonna go for a score draw, 2-2 score draw.
2-2. Craig?
Desmond, 2-2.
2-2 Desmond. I just see Man City rolling on. Or I see them beating Newcastle. But Newcastle, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Arsenal-Leicester, 3 o'clock at home.
4-1 Arsenal.
Craig? I'm calling in home banker myself.
Home banker.
All right. Bournemouth, West Ham, Craig. No, sorry, Brentford, West Ham. How'd you see that going?
Brentford win.
Brentford win.
West Ham pick up 2-1.
West Ham 2-1. I'm going to go with Brentford again. But it will be a close game. It's like a 2-1, 3-2 type of game. Chelsea, Brighton, Matthew.
Ooh, interesting game.
And you're at home.
This will not be straightforward. Will not be straightforward, but I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Chelsea win.
2-1 Chelsea, Craig?
Chelsea will win.
Yeah. We're all on the same boat this week. Chelsea will keep on going. Everton, Crystal Palace.
Palace.
Oh.
I think you know what? They have a habit of scoring first, and I think they might score first and stay first. So I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Everton win.
1-0 Everton win. I think they need to win. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1. Calvert-Lewin and the new guy, Ndai. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both gonna score. Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. Big one.
Ooh,
Forest.
Forest are fighting. I'm gonna go for I'm going 3-3 draw.
I'm going for a Fulham win. I think they're going to keep that momentum going. Wolves versus Liverpool to end out Saturday's games. Liverpool are away.
Sorry, Wolves. Another Liverpool. 3-1.
Great.
Liverpool win.
Liverpool win. Then on Sunday, we got Ipswich versus Aston Villa.
Away win.
Away win too.
Hard fought away win.
And then Man United versus Tottenham. Oh, what a game. What a Sunday.
United to bounce back after the draw on Saturday.
So Man United bounce back.
I'm going for Spurs win.
Yeah, I think Tiny Tots might do them again. And then last but not least, AFC Bournemouth against Southampton on Monday night.
Oh, Battle of the Seasides. Bournemouth bounce back. They are a good team. But they'll bounce back from this one.
Bournemouth.
I think Southampton are gonna actually pull something off here, you know. Because I think they drew 1-1 against Ipswich at home. Good way to get momentum building. And they scored the first goal after 5 minutes. Conceded in the 90th plus 5 equaliser. So It's not handy, but they held on for that long, which says a lot about their defensive resilience. And Ramsdale getting close to kind of redeeming what I said he would do. So yeah, I think that it was a wonder goal as well by Sam Morsley.
Yeah, it was a deflective thing, but like
he went for it.
He went for it.
Peak Barclays kind of vibes.
Hoofing the ball, mate.
So yeah, I'm gonna call it a Southampton to win against Bournemouth. Right. And with that, thanks for listening, guys. I have to say, guys, though, but like appreciate you guys listening every week. It's a pleasure doing this podcast all the time. But Premier League, we demand better. We the people want better, and we need you to get better referees. Michael Oliver, you need to find a straw in it. Those who know will know what I mean, and I ain't gonna finish the sentence, but find a straw and use it. And everyone else, have a good week. See you all next time.
Peace.